Hey, Tipo here. Ready for some fun English? Let's go.
You know what's weird, Gwen? I looked at my to-do list this morning, saw Start Personal blog, and just scrolled past it again.
You mean the blog you said you'd launch back in January?
Yeah, seriously. I wanted to do it. It just felt hard.
Actually, it's not hard, just fuzzy. That's because your brain didn't have a clear picture of what it actually looked like. Our brains are wired to prioritize things that are structured, urgent, and familiar. If something is vague or abstract, it doesn't trigger the same response.
So what you're saying is, my brain is low-key ghosting me?
Exactly. So today, we're not throwing a bunch of productivity hacks at you.
Nah, we're gonna zoom in on why your brain skips certain things in the first place.
And maybe what would happen if we gave those invisible tasks a shape? Who knows?
Let's dive in.
All right, let me guess, Leo. You labeled your uncompleted task as hard, didn't you?
Of course, it feels hard. But the weird thing is, I know how to do it. I know how to use Figma, I've got the projects. It's not like I'm being asked to do quantum physics.
That's actually a perfect example. Most of the things we call hard aren't hard because we lack skills or intelligence. They're hard because they're vague. There's no clear starting point.
Yes, it's like the task is just fog, emotional fog.
Exactly. There's this concept in neuroscience called cognitive clarity. A study from Stanford in 2019 showed that tasks with unclear outcomes or undefined steps cause the brain to delay activation of goal-oriented areas. In short, if your brain doesn't see what to do next, it stalls.
So basically, our brain is like a GPS. If it doesn't see the route, it doesn't move. No starting point, no go.
That's right. Now compare that with something like filling out a form online. You see fields, steps, a big submit button. Boom! Easy. Structured tasks give the brain dopamine checkpoints because you know what you're doing and what comes next.
And what you'll get. Grocery shopping? Same thing. You know the route, you get a reward. Chips. Or like vegetables, if you're Gwen.
Of course, because it's good for my health.
Excuse me? I eat vegetables and chips. Balance.
Fair. But let's test this. When I had to organize a workshop last year, I put it off for weeks. I kept saying it's hard, but what I meant was, I don't even know what slide goes first.
Right. No mental template, no imagined structure. Hard tasks don't get rejected, they get quietly avoided. I wasn't scared of doing it. I just didn't notice it anymore.
Because your brain is trained to chase clarity. In 2020, Columbia University researchers published a study on task salience. Basically, how the brain ranks tasks. They found that the less specific a task is, the less mental priority it gets. It's not a conscious decision, so your brain just shuffles it to the bottom.
Urgent and clear things go to the top. Vague things, even important ones, get ghosted.
So if we really break it down, tasks that feel easy are often those with a predefined structure, clear rewards, and obvious next steps.
Easy tasks are like IKEA furniture with instructions, checklist, deadline, clear reward. Your brain says, oh, I know what to do, and I know when I'll be done.
Good example, Leo. And tasks that feel hard are usually the ones that lack form. They're creative, personal, or abstract, and your brain doesn't naturally know how to begin, just because your brain couldn't see the first move.
All right, Gwen, so we just exposed the sneaky truth. A lot of hard tasks aren't actually hard. They're just invisible. So now, the big question is, how do we make those invisible tasks visible? How do we trick the brain into stepping forward when the path isn't lit? Like, we shine a flashlight on the fog?
Actually, yeah. Metaphorically speaking, that's not far off. One of the most powerful flashlights you can use is a mindset shift. And that shift is to think of the hard thing not as a commitment, not as a big leap, but as an experiment.
Wait, like a science experiment?
Kind of. Here's the thing. Thinking of a task as an experiment isn't just a mental trick to make yourself feel better. It's actually a way to reshape the entire experience of doing.
All right, hit me. What makes the experiment mindset so different?
3 things. Firstly, when you say it's an experiment, you're not trying to win or lose. You're just giving it a shot to see what happens. You're not saying this has to work. You're saying, I'm going to see what happens. That instantly reduces pressure.
So instead of, I must launch the perfect podcast, it becomes, let's record 1 episode and see how it feels.
For sure. And here's the second thing. An experiment has clear boundaries. It has a size, a shape, a beginning, and an end.
Let me take an example.
Go ahead, Leo.
Like instead of saying, I need to get healthy, I say, I'm going to walk after dinner for 15 minutes, for 3 nights, and see how I feel.
Good point.
What is the third piece?
When you experiment, your brain shifts from a judging and avoiding state to a curious and observing state.
Yo, that's big. I know there's science behind it too. A study in motivation and emotion found that when people approached a new task with curiosity, their stress went down and they actually performed better, even when the task was new or difficult.
So curiosity is like a psychological hack. When I think of something as a test, like, let's see what happens, I don't panic. I just do it.
That's the magic. You turn a vague idea into something clear and real. Gwen, there's one part that really blew my mind. Don't you even need motivation to start?
No, I don't. Motivation is optional. You just need a reason, even a small one, to begin the experiment.
I love that, because sometimes I wait for this big lightning bolt of inspiration, and it never comes. But if I just say, let's try this for 2 days and see what happens, suddenly the mountain shrinks.
Yeah, you remove the pressure to succeed. And when the pressure's gone, action becomes lighter.
Yep, because so many times I've sat in front of something I wanted to do, like editing a video or planning a project, and I didn't do it. Not because I didn't care, but because it had no door. It felt like mist.
And the experiment becomes the doorway.
Let's give listeners some examples. Show them how this plays out in real life.
All right, let's say you've been wanting to write, but it just feels too big. So you tell yourself, I'm going to write for 15 minutes and just see what thoughts are in my head today. That's it. That's an experiment.
No pressure for a novel. No, I have to be productive. Just, let's peek inside my brain today.
Or maybe you want to reconnect with people. Instead of making a dramatic social comeback, just say, I'll call one old friend this week and observe how I feel after.
Totally. Otherwise, your someday coffee catch-up will turn into no day at all.
Such an insightful thought, Leo. Or try waking up earlier. Just, I'll try waking up 30 minutes earlier for 2 days. Then I'll write down how I felt.
I actually did that during finals week. I hated mornings. But by just saying 2 days, I tricked myself into starting and it helped. I didn't become a morning person, but I understood myself more.
That's the key. You're not trying to be perfect. You're just collecting clues. Now that we know why the experiment mindset works, let's talk about how to actually do it. Like, what makes a good experiment?
Ah, yes, Dr. Gwen. Tell us. What chemicals do I need to add to my life lab today, aside from setting boundaries?
Well, it's true that the first thing a good experiment needs is a clear boundary. And the second ingredient is zero expectation.
That one's hard. Be honest. Who's ever said, I'll just try this for fun, while secretly hoping it'll change your whole life?
Yep, we see some of you nodding. That secret hope is what adds pressure. But a real experiment isn't about results. You're not measuring if it worked. You're just observing, how did I react? What was the experience like?
So you're not judging the results, just learning about your own reaction?
Yes. Instead of pushing yourself to wake up early just to become a morning person. Ask, how does my body feel when I wake up early?
And don't forget to record it or share it. When you write down what you do, you will find that what you do actually happens. It isn't just a thought.
Absolutely. It's no longer just a maybe, it's something that actually happened.
So the real trick here is turning thoughts into events.
Yes, that's the brain trick. You give your actions shape so your brain can respond to something real, not something vague.
Okay, so experimenting has rules, but also perks? Our listeners are probably waiting to hear this too.
We do. One of the nicest side effects of the experiment mindset is you stop pressuring yourself to know exactly what you're doing from the start.
That's great, because most of the time, I'm just guessing and hoping for the best.
When you see things as experiments, you allow yourself to try stuff without needing a guarantee. You do more things that are uncertain and harder, but you do them with ease.
Like trying a salsa class even if dancing isn't really your thing.
Perfect example. You don't need to succeed. You just need to show up and observe.
That part really lands. Because when you focus on watching yourself in action, you build this whole new kind of confidence.
Yes. It's not the loud kind of confidence where you walk around thinking you're amazing. It's quieter, deeper. You become someone who's willing to try, who's genuinely curious about how you react, and who stays present through it all.
It's not about being great at something or doing something that is super hard to achieve. It's about learning who you are when you show up and do it.
Exactly. That shift from proving to exploring changes the way you experience everything.
Okay, Gwen, before we start with the questions, let's go over some cool words from today's episode.
Sounds good. Learners, listen closely and repeat if you can. Let's begin. First word, task. A task is something you need to do. It can be small, like washing the dishes, or big, like finishing a project. For example, my first task today is to write a short email. It's just another word for job or activity.
Excellent example, Gwen. Next up, give it a shot. That means to try something, even if you're not sure it'll work. For example, I don't know how to paint, but I'll give it a shot. Just try it. Who knows? You might be great at it.
Our third phrase is set a small goal. It means choosing something simple and clear to do. Not a big dream, just one little step. Example, I set a small goal to read 5 pages a day. Small goals make big things feel easier.
Totally. I once set a goal to drink more water. Just 1 cup in the morning. Look at me now, hydrated and happy. Okay, next, call an old friend. This means to phone someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Example, I called an old friend last weekend and we talked for hours. Sometimes one call makes you smile for days.
And the last one is write down your thoughts. This means putting what's in your mind onto paper. It helps you understand what you're really feeling. Example, before bed, I write down my thoughts so I can sleep better. Writing is a way to turn ideas into something clear.
Perfect example to wrap up our vocabulary review. Okay, now that we've got some cool words in our pocket,
And some clear ideas in our brain.
let's move on to the fun part.
Discussion time. We've got 3 questions for you to think about.
And of course, we'll share our answers too. Ready? Let's go. First question coming in hot. What's one task you often skip?
Cleaning my inbox. I open it, see 200 emails, and suddenly need a snack.
Updating my passwords? I know it's important, but I keep putting it off. No excuse, really.
Let's move to the second question. Have you ever given something a shot and it turned out better than expected?
I gave yoga a shot once. Thought I'd fall asleep, but I actually loved it.
I tried cooking without a recipe. It wasn't perfect, but it didn't burn. So, success.
And now, the final question. Would you like to set a small goal this week? What would it be?
Yep, my goal is to drink water before coffee. Let's see if I survive.
I'll try writing down my thoughts every night. Just one sentence. That's enough to start. All right, it's your turn now.
What about you?
Leave us a comment below and tell us, what small goal would you like to try this week?
It can be something simple. One step is all it takes.
We read every comment and we might even try your idea ourselves. All right, here's what we covered today. If you want to trick your brain to do hard things without freaking out, try it like an experiment.
Right? No pressure to win, no need to be perfect. Just clear boundaries, small steps, and honest curiosity. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be open. Then, you will unlock a version of yourself that's braver, calmer, and more present.
So whether it's writing that blog, calling a friend, or waking up early, don't make it a big deal. This will make your brain think that the difficult thing will turn into something completely doable.
Thanks for tuning in. And remember, clarity isn't something you wait for. It's something you create, one small, curious step at a time.
See you next time.